So recently, Stax just launched a feature that allows you to now send forms or documents to users, so they can just fill and sign it directly within Stax and get it sent back to you. So this is a very standard, electronic signature feature. So it's there in a couple other providers, but the benefit of doing it with Stax, if you have a Stax account, is that once someone fills out the form, it comes back into your Stax account, into the right stack, and all the information they filled out gets saved as metadata in your document. So all that data becomes searchable, but more importantly, you can do things like if you have, let's say, NDAs that people need to fill, everyone who filled it, you can export a list of that as an Excel file directly from your Stax account, and then have, keep good track of what's going on, who's filled their documents, and so on. So I'm going to show you how to set up a document to be sent out so that people can fill and sign it, and what it looks like to them, and what the document looks like when you get it back. So let's get started. So this is our Stax account here. I'm not going to mess with any of the folders that we already have because that works well. I'm going to go and create a new folder here called NDAs, new stack. Just create that from scratch, and you're going to be inside here. So the first thing you need to do is you need to upload the template of the document that you want to send. So this can be created, as a Word doc or a PDF, whatever you want. So while Stax processes that, let's talk about the workflow. So what we're going to do is we're going to pre-fill the document with any information that we might need to. So for instance, this is an example NDA. I just pulled this off the internet. There is a disclosing party and a receiving party, and we're going to say we're the disclosing party. So we're going to pre-fill this with our information, and I'm going to put my signature in here so that when we share this document to someone else to sign, they will see that we've already filled it out, so they just need to fill out the remaining, and when they send it back, it becomes a fully executed document. And Stax will automatically send out a copy to both parties, so we all have it for the records. So let's see. So over here, that's where the effective date's going to go. So let's fill out our information. So down here on the document toolbar, there are a couple of tools that you can use. We're going to use the text box and the signature tool. So let's start with the text box. Click on that and click on where you want to type. So let's put in the name of our company, and we'll go here and we'll put in Perimeter Drive, B5. All right, so we'll put that information in. Go down here. I'm going to put in my name. Put in today's date because that's a date I'm going to sign, and let's do this. So before you put your signature in, you have to make sure that your signature is set up with your account. So click on your user icon and go to manage my account. I'll open it in a new tab, and down here under sign documents, this is where you need to draw your signature. So you can draw that using the pad here, or you can clear out, or you have mine set up, so I'm not going to mess with that. So once you have that set up, you can click on this and just click on anywhere in the document to place your signature. And once you place it, if you want, you could drag the corners to move or resize this as you want. That's too big. Let's put that, and then hit the green check mark to confirm it. So now we filled out the document, and we need someone else to do it. So to do that, what you need to do is you need to configure your document to be able to accept inputs from others. So to do that, on the right side, go down here to the bottom, and you'll see configure inputs. And when you click on that, there's going to be a new section here called inputs that allow you to set it up for filling and signing. So let's create a new input. The types of inputs we have are text box, custom date, which allows the user to pick whatever date, and current date, which automatically fills it with the day they're signing it, and the actual signature. Now, when the user submits the form, all of the information will be stored as metadata in the new document. And the key here for the field is a field like this section here. So the key will tell it what to save it as. So for the one up there, let's call this effective date. This is going to be the current date, so it'll autofill. And to set where it's going to be, you have to click on this box here where it says click to set, and you'll get a message, and just drag on here where you want that information to be. Okay, now let's add a new input, and we'll call this receiving party. This is going to be a text box and required input, and we will put this one right here. Okay, so if you see here, this went down a little bit. I want this to go up a bit higher. What you can do is you can just click here again now to reset, and just redraw. I'll zoom in a little bit so it's a little easier to capture that. All right, let's do another one. We'll call this the address. Also required, it is a text box, and we will put that here. And let's go down. There we go. New input, we'll call this the signer name. Also text box. Click on the location. And also, so this is a one-time process. Once you set up your form to be fillable, you can send this to as many people as you want. So we're going to use effective date again, set that to current date. So you could use the same field multiple times, and what it'll do is it'll just autofill it based on the previous value. And that's useful because it allows you to set the same information in multiple parts on the form. Finally, let's do signature. And we'll just change that to signature. And let's drag that right there. Okay, so now that we have our document field set up, we have everything that we want the user to fill out, we can actually just go ahead and send this document. So to do that, you could either right click on the document and hit send, or you can click on share document down here. So now if the document is configured with fillable fields, the fillable form is going to be selected by default. I'm going to send this to myself, and I'll say, please fill and sign this NDA. Thank you. And let's hit share. So if you add your own fields and stuff like that, the first time you send it, it's going to take a few seconds longer than usual because it needs to prepare the fillable form. But once it's prepared, if I'm sharing it to someone now, it's going to be a lot quicker. So what we're going to do is going to okay, so here's my email. I have an email here from Stax. It says that I sent a document to fill and sign, and there's going to be a link over here. So what you could do, you would want to follow this link. So now this is not for you as the person sending the document, by the way. This is as a person who's receiving the document to fill and sign. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, so now we have the document. You can see that the information that was filled in previously is already there, and the effective date that we set up is already filled in because it just uses the current date. So let's see, and this will tell you what you can do. So when you scroll down here or you go to the bottom, you have this little toolbar. So let's see, type here. So party receiving information, let's say we do this as Inventives Incorporated. Okay, and this scrolls down to the bottom already to the next one. But if you want, obviously you can go in, read through the document, search through the document, any of that. But let's go in here and just put and finally to sign, you're gonna have a little button there. When you click on it, this is going to take you to a place where you can draw your signature. You could also, if you wanted, just type your name in, but you know what, I would prefer to sign it, so let's do that. Okay, now there is a notice here. This is an electronic signature that is legally binding, and when you hit accept and sign, it makes your signature, your electronic signature on the document, as legally binding as if the signature was in writing. So this is a fully valid signature. So let's hit accept and sign. So this takes a second as well to generate the digital signature, make copies of the documents and send it out. And you have your signature here. Everything else in the document is done, and that's it. So actually over here, I should have received another email saying there's a copy of the document for my records, and it sends me an attachment with everything that I filled out, the signature, all of that. And if we go back to Stax, let's refresh this page. There's now a new document here. So it started with the name of the old one, but then it says filled by Naru at Stax.ai on this date. So we have that. And let's take a look at this new document. Okay, so this document in Stax is the same thing, but it has all the information filled in. So now I can search through all of this. It's in my system. But more importantly, if you look at this, there's metadata now associated with the document. So we have the effective date, the receiving party, the address, and the signer name. So now I have access to all of Stax's filters, fields, all of that capability now with the metadata attached to the document. Well, there you go. That's how you create a form in Stax, a document, so that when you send it out to someone, they can fill it, sign it, and this is what it looks like when they receive it. And well, there you go. I hope this really helps streamline your document workflow and save you a lot of time using Stax. Thank you very much.